Good afternoon. My name is Mukki, and I am a senior at Illinois State University studying marketing and professional sales. So I am going to have the opportunity to study abroad in Cyprus this semester for my study abroad program. And just before I kind of get into why I chose the program and what it is I plan on doing here, I just wanted to give a big shout out to my study abroad counselor, which was Carla. She really helped me a lot before I figured out which country I wanted to go to, and she did a very good job of explaining the process. And a lot of this would not be accessible to me and available to me if it wasn't for the way that Illinois State structures this program. So I'm very thankful to Illinois State for their study abroad program and for also connecting me with the counselors such as Carla. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have the opportunity to study abroad in Cyprus this semester. And part of why I chose this program is just because of how unique the program is. When you hear about a lot of the places that people study abroad in, Cyprus is not a very common destination for a lot of Americans. And there are not a lot of Americans that actually choose to come down and visit Cyprus and vacation down here. So that was a huge reason as to why I chose to come down to Cyprus. Another reason why I chose to come down to Cyprus is just because of the convenience for traveling around Europe. It's close to a lot of areas in the Mediterranean like Greece, Turkey, and it's also pretty close to Africa. So you could visit places like Egypt, Lebanon, Libya, Israel. So it makes it very easily accessible for traveling. And I have had a little bit of experience with traveling before I came down for my study abroad program. I was actually born in Nigeria and I grew up there for the first 9 years of my life. So had a little bit of experience living in another country outside of the United States. And while growing up, I've had the opportunity to visit a bunch of other countries. I've been to Spain, specifically Barcelona. I've been to Germany, I've been to Paris, I've been to Guatemala, Qatar, and a few places in Mexico. So I've had a little bit of experience with traveling with my family. And I did a lot of research about Cyprus before coming down. And one of the main things that you will find online is Cyprus is divided into two parts. There is the Greek Cypriot side, and then there's the Turkish side. But you don't really get a feel for what the dynamic is like until you really get down here and you really see, you learn a lot about the history as to why the countries are divided and the process of how people have kind of gotten over that and how people decide to live their lives. There are a lot of things that I plan on doing while I'm down here. I'm a huge fan of Mediterranean food, so I plan on getting my fill with lamb, halloumi cheese, gyros, just kind of stuff like that, Mediterranean food. And there's an underwater museum in Ayia Napa that I plan on visiting during my time down here in Cyprus. But honestly, I'm just looking forward to immersing myself in the culture and learning as much as I can about the country and discovering a lot about myself. Like I said earlier, I wanted to give a big shout out to my study abroad counselor, Carla, Illinois State University, for offering a program as cool and unique as this one. I wanted to give another shout out to my parents for respecting me and the fact that I wanted to kind of branch out and do something that's different from a lot of my peers. I also wanted to give a huge shout out to myself for being confident in myself enough to understand that I can survive and basically immerse myself in another culture. But throughout the semester, I'm going to be walking you guys through a few things that I'm going to do down here. So I'm going to be showing you guys my apartment, some of the cool things that the school has to offer. And then I'll also just be kind of giving some tips and tricks as what are the best ways to kind of do this whole study abroad thing. But thank you for your time today, and you guys will be seeing me a lot throughout the semester. Bye-bye.